Okay.
Hey, hey, this is about a Generac. I'm going to talk to you about it. I see a lot of advertisement how wonderful it is, and it's a standby generator in case you need something. I'm currently off the grid. This is not an off the grid generator. They wanted several $1,000s more for off the grid generator, but I'm not running the generator 24/7. I'll run it throughout the days. Maybe like 2 days or something, but then I do service on it. There's a 20 kW, and I bought it from Lowe's, and it was running. I changed the oil every 100 hours, like Generac recommended. Then it broke. So I said, well, let me try to I couldn't get the engine running, so I turned to Generac. Generac said I bent the rod. And at that time, I had about 925 hours on it, which really, you're only talking, if you run it 24/7, really 40 days, not even 40 days of running time. Now, when I brought it to them, the first thing they said is, wow, you got 900, you almost got 1,000 hours on it. And I go, yeah. And he goes, that's a lot. I mean, usually we have generators that are 5 years old, they don't even have 25 hours on it. And that made me sort of wonder, like, well, what kind of standby generator? And I explained to him that I'm off the grid. He says, oh, well, it's not designed to run that much. And I go, well, why not? I mean, if I'm changing the oil every 100 hours and I'm doing proper maintenance on it, and I've got the Generac oil filter and I'm putting synthetic oil in it, it's not like this is one of my lifelines. And he says, no, he says, this is not the one you want to get. This is propane. This is a propane generator. What you want to do is get a good old diesel generator. And that's what Generac told me. He said, just get a diesel one. Get an old one that doesn't have all the bells and whistles, something very simple. And so they checked out what was wrong with the Generac, and it was a bent rod on one of the pistons. It's a 2-cylinder. So I said, okay, how much is this? $1,900. I said, okay. So I bought a brand new motor. And I said, now, is it warranted? He says, yeah, we'll warranty the motor for 1 year. That's it. I said, okay. So it's running. Now I'm about, every 100 hours I do it, and I'm under 100 hours. I'm about 92 hours, and it shuts off again. So I try to start it, won't start. So I take it back to Generac. Now the employees of Generac, this is not to beat them up. They were always helpful. They were always willing to take my phone call. They were always trying to help me sort out what was wrong with the generator. And they even gave me suggestions. So I'm not beating up them, I'm just beating up this product. If you want a generator that you want to count on, don't buy a Generac. So this is the second part of the motor. And what happened, it sheared off. Now this is the crank that runs the piston and everything else, but this part goes off into the generator. He said, well, we don't warranty that part. We warranty the motor still runs, but this part jammed up of where you generate the electricity. So I said, all right, how much is this going to cost me? About $450. I said, okay, well, go ahead and let's fix this because I need the generator. Meanwhile, I got a diesel generator out here. I haven't had any problem, and it's an Army surplus generator. It starts, it runs, it's like a hoss. Then also, he said, you need to change the oil a little bit sooner. I go, well, Generac recommends every 100 hours. They go, no, you should change about every 50 hours. I go, well, I told Generac people, I said, listen, I'm not running it for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I run it for 8 hours, I shut it off. I run it for like 10 hours and I'll shut it off. I run it for 8 hours and I'll shut it off. And when I shut it off, it's off for 8, 12, maybe 24 hours. This is a standby generator for me because I'm not running it permanently. And they said, yeah, but you got a lot of hours on it. And I go, well, hold on, I only got 100 hours on this motor. So now I've got 100 hours on this motor with a brand new crankshaft. Now, here we come this is round 3. So I'm going to put this in, and I'm running it off a 1,000-gallon propane tank. And now he recommended me to change the oil every 50 hours. So really every 2 days. So you at home, if you're counting on a generator that you want it to be there, and you hear it start up for 15-20 minutes and shuts off, if you want that and that makes you feel good, I'm happy. But if you want a generator that's going to be there, and if you want a generator that you can count on if you lose electricity for 10 days or 12 days or even a month, really this is only running for not even a little over a month, and it broke. And I've already had to buy a new motor. And they don't cover it under warranty because they said, well, you're not hooked up to a house. Because if you're hooked up to a house, that means you're not going to be running it that much. And they recommend you not to run it that much because it will not hold up. With the circuit boards, with all the electronics, this is not a simple machine. You cannot work on it. You pull out a circuit board, if a circuit board fries, that's $350, which I haven't had that problem yet, knock on wood. Anyway, so this is not to beat up the employees of Generac. They always treated me real nice, and they were very helpful. This is to beat up the people that are selling the Generac, the people at the corporate that say, oh, they have great commercials. That's the reason why I bought one. But don't believe it in the commercial. This generator will leave you high and dry. Thank you.